don't give up. This is My Career, My Calling on Down on the Radio. And this is your host, Stephanie Fletcher-Lati. And thank you for joining us. Yes, this evening we've got an exciting program lined up for you, and wherever you are joining us from, thank you so much for joining us for another episode of My Career, My Calling, brought to you by I Care Community Services. I just want to say a big shout out to all our listeners on Facebook Live, on My Career, My Calling, on I Care Community Services, wherever you have joined us from this evening. Thank you so much for partnering with us in this exciting program on My Career, My Calling. And today, I want you to stay tuned because we've got a great program lined up for you. And we're looking forward to talking to you this evening. Remember, you can dial in on Skype at Down on the Radio Live. So you may reach us on Skype at Down on the Radio. You may also post your questions on the Facebook group on My Career, My Calling, or directly on Down on the Radio's Facebook page. And we will make every effort to respond to your questions or your feedback. We would love for you to join us on this evening's program. So we really happy to have you with us today, and we're looking forward to a wonderful time over the next 50 minutes or so.
Though sometimes I fail to see, but His word sets me free. I can do nothing.
Yes, if you have just joined us, this is My Career, My Calling on Down on the Radio, and I am your host, Stephanie Fletcher-Lati. Today, I just want to remind you that this is a multicultural community radio program that provides information and share insights on how migrants can succeed in the Australian workplace. The aim of this program is to provide useful information, to share experiences, to help our community, to help each other, so that we can all thrive, so we can be our best, so we can succeed in the Australian workplace. So our aim is to provide information about the Australian job market, how people can really survive, how you can navigate, how we can learn from each other's experiences, so that we can be successful in our chosen career or profession. So this evening, we've got a great program lined up for you, and I hope you're as excited as I am, because this evening I've got a special guest in studio with me, and it is none other than Pastor Adjei. Pastor Adjei, welcome to My Career, My Calling.
Thank you, Pastor Stephanie. Great to be here.
Thank you so much. Yes, so you'll be hearing more from Pastor Adjei today in the program. I'm really excited to have this man in the studio with me. He's a person of experience. He's someone who has had experience on the different, as an employee and as an employer, and he really will be sharing his own experiences with us today. So I hope you are staying tuned, because we're going to have a great time together.
So impossible. He is able, more than able. Oh yes, Jah will never give us more than we can bear. Jehovah will never give us more than we can bear.
Yes, thank you for joining us. And this is My Career, My Calling. Yes, today we've got a very special guest in studio with us, none other person than Pastor Adjei. And I'm really excited to have him in the studio with us today. And hi, Pastor Adjei. So,
Hi.
I'm really excited to have you here today. It's been a great program so far, and today My topic today is preparing for the workplace.
Right.
And I really would love for you to help me to talk through this topic today. I know when we just come to Australia, last week I shared that we need to have there are certain prerequisites. You need to have the right visa. You need to make sure you have a tax file number.
Yep.
That you get the 100-point identification and a few other things like that. Make sure you've got a bank account, a tax file number, and make sure that, some jobs require like a working with children check, police or criminal record check. But there are so many other things that we need depending on the sector, but not just not just the working with children check and the police record and the tax file number and so on. We have to be prepared for work, and
That's right.
especially coming from a different environment, working in Australia, it's really important for us to understand the Australian work environment. So before we go into that, tell me, Pastor Adjei, how did you come to Australia?
Thank you very much, and I greet all your listeners. Thank you for this program and the opportunity. I think it's amazing what you're doing. I came to Australia in 1996. My parents brought us here, which is a while now. And I was young, ambitious like any other person. I started year 9. Can you believe it? I started year 9 from here. Went through high school, finished high school. Then in 1999, I finished high school.
Yeah.
Went to Bible college, finished Bible college, and then started working. I've done all sort of jobs. So any job that you need the nuggets to get the job, I can tell you. I've been employed before, and now thank God I employ other people as well. I have contracts and all that. As you said, when you come here, somebody have to navigate you. So my life in Australia for the past 23 years, I've learned a lot. From business owners and being a business owner as well, and being an entrepreneur. So that's in the nutshell, that's who I am.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
And I really love the fact that you've been here for a while and you've got quite a bit of experience as an employee.
Yeah.
So you've had to do the job application, you've had to do the interview, and then you've transitioned from being employed by someone to being your own boss.
That's right.
And
That's
to
right.
employing other people. And that is one of the things that I'm really grateful that we are able to do on this program, to be able to give people different perspectives.
Yeah.
And that is one of my dreams, that we will be able, because not everybody's going to be searching for a job with somebody else, but some people might be setting up their own businesses.
Yes.
And it's really important for us to have that balance.
Yes.
And to help those people as well to understand that, there is hope.
Yes.
At the end of the day, I think the bottom line and the foundation that we stand on is really about hope.
Yeah.
And giving people that hope that, you know what, there are other people who have done this. There might be some challenges, there might be some struggles, like with pretty much almost anything in life.
Yeah.
But there are some people who have done it. They've been able to conquer the mountain.
Yep.
And that is what my calling. And with me in the studio this evening, we've got Pastor Adjei, and we've been talking about preparing for work. And Pastor Adjei has shared his experience of how he came to Australia, and now I really want to talk about preparing for work. And Pastor Adjei, what would you say are some of the key tips that people need to keep in mind when you're preparing, if you've just arrived in Australia, from wherever you might be coming from? Some key points.
So, as you mentioned some of them before, one of the things that you need to do if you get to any country, either somebody brought you here, or you came with the school, or you came in any sort of form, is just get connected. Get connected to somebody, either in the church or in the community or in your group. It's very important. Whoever you meet in a foreign country, they can make you or they can break you. So,
wow.
Yeah, the first person you meet in any foreign country, their experience will be able to help you to be able to do well, or their experience can help you to do worse. So I always say the first point of contact is the greatest thing. So the person will just take you through what they know. So I always advise people that when you meet somebody on the street, anywhere, say hello. Get to know them. Most people that I've seen on the street, because I'm always on the street, they're shy. They don't want to, because they're new in the country. I don't know what they have told them back home. Don't meet anybody. Don't say hello to anybody. So people feel like there's something that is going to go wrong. Intimidated or shy, or they just don't want to open up. But I would like to encourage all your listeners that whoever you meet on the street can even connect you to what you're looking for. So the person you came to meet in Australia here, let's use Australia, either they will take you through to register with the job agency or to get the necessary things as tax return, bank account, and all that. But one thing that we don't mention is ABN, which is Australian Business Number. Australian Business Number allows you to do greater things. When I discovered that in 1999, that I can have my own business, I can earn as much as I want, I said, no way.
Wow.
So that was through my European friends. So I get connected to some European friends in 1999 when I finished high school, and we were doing door-to-door mobile phones. So basically, they led me to register me for ABN, and from there, I've been doing small business. So you can do anything. You can start your own business, even when you're from anywhere in the world. In Australia, most students even don't know that. Most immigrants don't know that. They just think that you can only get tax
file number.
Tax file number.
That's really important. I'm really happy you've touched on that. So I'm going to pick up on a few things you've said.
Yeah.
So the first thing you said was get connected.
Connected, yeah.
And I really feel like that's important. And that's been a big part of my own experience as well. And to be honest, Pastor Adjei, when I came to Australia, I came as a single woman from very far away. I'm from Jamaica, and there weren't many, you don't pass Jamaicans every day.
Well, you have to know where they are.
Yeah. So basically, I didn't know where they were.
Bondi.
They weren't, so I didn't know where they were. Yeah. And maybe where they were, I just couldn't afford to go there.
That's right.
However, I felt like connecting with people was really important, and I actually found out that was one of the biggest things that helped me.
Yes. To
settle and also to learn. One example is I was here for a little while, and I've been a driver for many, many years, and I had my driver's license. But there were a few times when I went out, and it seemed like there was a little bit of challenge just to use my as an identification card. And somebody told me, do you know you could actually get a New South Wales
driver license? Yeah, ID. Yeah.
And I'm telling you, that's one of the most powerful things that I learned in this country.
Proof of age card.
Proof of age card.
Yeah.
It was such a powerful document.
Yes.
And it was somebody else who was going to get it, just mentioned it to me.
Yes.
So really talking to people and learning from others is really, really important when preparing.
And I want to say this before I forget.
Yeah.
They said if you have a disease and you sell it, you get a medicine. So if you don't talk about issues or you don't open up to people, I've walked up to people and I just have a conversation.
Yeah.
Like today I did it at the station, and the guy was so blessed that he was able to have a chat with me. So it's very important in this nation that you open up. I'm not saying give them all your history, but at least say hello.
Yep.
talk to somebody, either a white Australian or an African Australian or Aboriginal or whoever you meet on the street, if you have a disease, sell it, which is getting the job.
Yeah. So it's really important to connect with people.
Yes.
And one of the things that I really thought was really important to mention is ask people.
Yeah.
You're not the first person looking for a job in Australia.
No.
Ask people, and people will know. So some people can be really intimidated because, you know, are the big buildings, or maybe they've seen many people that don't look like them. And so some people can actually really feel intimidated. So some people might say, oh, but because you are friendly, you can just walk up to someone. How can we just have, you know, just for even a shy person, how can you approach someone? You know, is there a way you could approach someone? Yeah.
I teach that. I teach that on the street and also in classroom. You know, the Bible say ask. Yeah. The word ask in acronym that I created in my presentation is that A for attitude.
Yeah.
Okay, so if your attitude doesn't mean that you have to be bubbling and all that. An attitude of meekness, an attitude of even quietness is great.
Yes.
You can have a great attitude, and that's accent. That's the A.
Yes.
So when you have a good attitude, everybody wants to be around you.
Yeah.
Okay. Your shy person doesn't mean that you should have a stinky attitude.
That's it.
You can walk up to anybody and be shy and ask in the way you are built.
Yes.
So that's what the Bible says. Ask and it shall be given unto you. Seek and you'll find.
Yeah.
The S is skill.
Wow.
Your skill enable you to be able to go before kings. You can ask in your quietness. You don't have to do it like the way everybody else does it. If you're shy and you're going to ask, just ask in the shyness.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, ask in your shyness. You don't have to pretend to be somebody. So then the attitude, skill, and the K is knowledge. What do you know?
Yeah.
If you don't know anything, you don't get anything. So you need to know the system. You need to know people. You need to know things. So whether you like to talk about news, go for it. If you like to talk about politics, when you hear people, you go for your interest. Your knowledge will able to serve you in any community you go to. So what do you know? Ask yourself. I met people that are accountant. Yeah, okay, you're accountant. You have to go to a place that accountants are talking. You will find something to say.
Yes.
If you're a nurse, go to the hospital, hang around there. They will talk about something that you can connect it. If you're an aged care worker, if you're a salesperson, if you're an engineer, if you're a doctor, you can arrive in this country, Google where they meet, Google how they hang out, go there. Because you have the same knowledge interest, you'll be able to communicate with them. So that is what the ask is about. Attitude, skill, and knowledge.
Wow, I love it. Attitude, skill, and knowledge.
Yeah.
And so basically, it doesn't matter how shy you are.
No.
It doesn't matter how, you know, overwhelmed you might be feeling. It's just opening your mouth.
That's right.
It doesn't matter. Just open your mouth in a respectful way. And one thing I know with Australians too, they're very helpful.
Of
like
course.
if you really approach them, they always want to help.
Yes.
And I love the part about the knowledge.
Yeah.
Whatever you know can become an asset.
Of course.
And that's been an asset to me.
Yeah.
Honestly, when I came here, my first job, I was a student, and my supervisor was really concerned that he really wanted me to get a job because I didn't have enough money on my scholarship.
To pay your school fees and all those things.
So the school fees were taken care of, but the scholarship.
You're a lucky one.
The scholarship, like the living allowances.
Yeah.
The living allowances was the tough part. Yeah. So basically, I sold my skill. I was like, you know what? I'm a really good researcher.
Okay.
And he's like, hang on, you're a researcher. You've got skills.
Yeah.
We've got lots of professors looking for people who got those skills.
Yeah.
That's how I got my first job.
So you open your mouth, you got a job.
Yep.
If you don't talk,
Yep.
you will not get anything. So
That's
you
it.
need to open your mouth. Your knowledge will serve you and will take you before kings. What do you know?
That's
If
it.
you know something, apply it. A lot of people I meet, they know a lot of stuff, but they don't open their mouth.
Yep.
If it's writing, write.
Yep.
If it's researching, go
Research.
to where they research.
Yeah.
You know, so go to a place that your knowledge can be acknowledged, and then it will give you a job. So that's the key factor.
Great.
Yeah.
So let's go back to now about the preparation.
That's right.
Yeah. So tell us, when you're preparing for the job, so you've got the documentation, you
Yep.
know, and you've got the relevant tax related stuff, whether it's a tax file number, an ABN. What are some of the other things that people really need to start thinking about when they're preparing for work?
So, in terms of applying for job, you
Yes.
mean, okay. So the key factor these days people look at is your cover letter. All right. So your cover letter is like your synopsis in writing an essay. So the person doesn't know you, but once they highlight the key things about your resume, it creates an attention.
Yep.
Make sure it's also something that is attractive. A lot of people go through emails, like a lot of resumes.
Yes.
One of my advisor, I pay $400 for my advisor to write my resume because I wanted to get the bigger job. So there is a key technical words. So always give your cover letter to somebody who is knowledgeable more than you.
Okay.
They will be able to pick up certain things. The way we write resume, I do resume for people. The way we write resume back home,
Yep.
to talk about all those things these days, it doesn't apply. It's not applicable. As resume should be 1 page or 2 maximum, no more than 2. If it's more than 2, it means that you're talking too much. So that's the key factor: your cover letter, your resume, the headings, the way you structure it.
Yep.
So once you structure in a good way, then the next thing is presentation.
Wow.
They look at presentation. If I'm going to give you a job and you can't even present it in the way I like it, I just go through next. Something that catch my attention, boom, I'll read it.
Wow.
So presentation is also important.
Presentation.
Yeah.
So presentation is really important from the get-go.
Yeah.
From the day one,
Yeah.
it's really about how am I presenting myself?
That's right.
How am I packaging myself?
That's right.
Because people do look at these things.
Yeah. That's
They
what
do.
You're going through. Let's say you're applying for customer service job in Commonwealth Bank.
Yep.
Guess how many people are applying?
About 250.
Thank you. So imagine if your resume doesn't look attractive, they just scan through.
Yep.
There are key factors that you're reading quickly
Yep.
to scan through and pick up the best one.
That's it.
So you need to be the one that it will seek attention.
Yep.
So we got different forums that we teach this,
Yep.
which I got the book and I can pass on the note to give it to people, that we look for
Yep.
before even we select you to call you for interview.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Talk about this interview.
Yes.
So this week, I asked a few people just to share some feedback about. I just asked 3 quick questions.
Yep.
And one of them was, what are some of the challenges that people face when looking for jobs when they arrived in Australia? So I want us to take a look at some of the responses, because this is something that I really believe that you can help to shed some light on. So one of the things that most people said, I asked people, how long did it take to get a job?
Yeah.
Most people actually got a job within a couple months. However, there was a big difference between people who, like professional people, a lot of them had to settle for jobs
That is less than.
their qualification.
Yes.
Right? And this is it's a common thread. Almost everybody, except for a few people who were sponsored or they already had the job when they came.
That's right.
Most people had to go for
a
something,
lower
job.
Yeah.
So it's really getting their foot in the door. Yeah. However, the other thing was, what are some of the frustrations and the challenges? Do you want to know what the most people said? Almost every single person said it.
Okay.
Work experience.
Work experience. Okay.
Work
Okay.
experience was mentioned by nearly every single person.
Wow.
So one person said, it's really difficult to gain employment in your chosen field because everybody is asking for working experience. Most people are looking for work experience, but you can't get the experience unless you get the job.
That's right.
You know, another person had overseas working experience, but some people didn't.
They didn't recognize
They didn't
that.
recognize it.
All right.
You know, so these are some of the challenges and this working experience thing. So yeah, you send the application. You've written what you think is the model cover letter, and I'll talk some more about the cover letter later on. This work experience, I want to talk about how can we actually get experience.
Let me take you back to, okay, so you're a foreigner, you just arrived in this country.
Yes.
I had one of the medical doctor, a friend of mine, we went to the same debate.
Yeah.
He said when he arrived in Western Australia, from Africa, he has worked in Nigeria
Yes.
as a doctor in the clinic or whatever.
Probably even a senior consultant. Yes.
So they won't give him a job.
No.
Sometimes, you see, we have to be creative.
Uh-huh.
So he wrote a job description on his, see, this is being skillful on
Yes.
your resume.
Yep.
And said an assistant in the theater. He gave him a position. I'm an assistant in the theater. And they never heard that before. Wow. Yeah, we need an assistant in the theater to pass us this and that. And then, so he got a job.
Yes.
This was a miracle. But because he was able to see that what he had in back home, they won't employ him to give him the position that
Yep.
somebody has already occupied that position.
That's it.
So you create your own position. So he created an opposition and it worked.
Great.
All right, not everybody will work for you, but this is what I always tell people that are new in the country. How are you going about applying for the job? Number one, are you applying through Seek, online, Sometimes your face can make me like you. So I'll go through the old school. Most of my job is door to door.
Wow.
I will come to you because I want the job.
Yes.
If you haven't watched this movie, go and watch it. The Pursuit of Happiness. Okay. Will Smith didn't wait for the job.
Yeah.
He went to the employer and said, I need the job. He hassled the guy. One day the guy got annoyed. And then he got the job.
Yes.
But it took a long time.
A long time.
So how desperate are you for that job?
Yes.
That is your skill job. All right. If you're going for lesser job, that is your base.
Yes.
So in life, there's something that we call, you need to get, set, and wet. Get a job, get any job. Set your goals.
Yes.
Wet the grounds. So you get any job, but that's not the ultimate job.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
But you want to set your goals to get your ultimate job.
That's it.
So let's say you are a researcher in
Yep.
Jamaica, you're the top. Okay, that's not what you came here and you got a job that is a desk job.
Yep.
You set your goal to get the ultimate job.
Yep.
You wet the grounds because once you're in
Yes.
and you begin to wet the ground, which means that you're waving with people, they were like, hey, there's something about you, Stephanie. What else can you do?
That's it.
And then you tell them, this is what I want.
Yes.
And you get it. So there's different mechanism that you need to use to get the job. About experience, look, I read in the news paper, most CEOs employ people that volunteer.
I was really hoping
You
that
understand?
you would touch on the
Most
volunteering.
CEOs employ people that volunteer. The reason why I'm a CEO of Combined Recruitment, you want a job. I don't know you.
Yeah.
You see, the same thing works here.
Yes.
Who do you know?
Yes.
Who you know will always make a way for you. So if you don't know me and I really want the job in this radio station, guess what? I'll just put a volunteer request in that I want to come and clean here. Oh, wow. Why? Well, I love radio station. I love this radio station. No, my agenda is to get a job here.
Yes.
The moment I get to know the CEO, I'm cleaning, I'm wiping, I'm serving them with coffee. They're like, wow, you're very hardworking. What else can you do? I can talk. You understand? So if you really want that job, volunteer for that job. Once they see that your skill is capable to do the job, after you volunteer, they'll say, you know what? We can give you 2 days.
That's it.
So I don't know what job you're looking for. I don't know what skill you brought, but don't settle for less. Don't settle for less. One lady came from Africa. She was a teacher back home, and she really wanted to teach here. People talked her down. He said, no, go and do HK because here you cannot
Become a
teach.
teacher, yeah.
So She goes, that's not my destiny. My destiny is to teach. She was a drama teacher.
Yeah.
And they said, oh, you know what? It's better to go and do nursing. You're smart. All right. But she was going to fall for it. So one day she picked up the newspaper. People, pick up newspapers. She picked up the newspaper and there was an advertisement going for a job as a cleaner in the school, which is a
drama school.
A drama school, a private school. She goes, wow. She told her husband, I'm going to apply for that job. What? Cleaner? You say, yeah. Because I want to be in the school. So this is an opportunity to be in the school. Behold, she sent her resume. The principal read the resume and said, come in. She went in. She said, no, but your skill is more than a cleaner. So you're a teacher.
Yes.
All right, we got part-time casual. She got the job. Now she's one of the top drama teachers in Australia. She even marked
the exams.
Performance. They fly her to US and all that. But she went in as a cleaner.
So really what you are saying is preparation.
Yes.
Preparation. So preparing and having a plan.
Yeah.
So yes, I want to become this person. I want to be a CEO.
Yeah.
I want to become a manager. I want to be a this and a that. However, sometimes it's not as straightforward. However, it's really important to have a plan.
Yes.
Have a plan. And also, as most people in the survey said, we ended up taking another job. A lot of people went through aged care.
Yeah.
And one respondent is now a nursing manager.
Yeah.
Who started off in aged care.
Aged care, yeah.
You know, another person started off. Another person who responded to the survey was a big time international advisor.
Yeah.
To one of the UN agencies.
That's right.
And had to come in. They took something that was not as high.
Yep.
And people didn't really appreciate that person's experience.
Yep.
However, I believe this person will actually go on in a couple of years' time
to get to that
place.
That's what I was saying. Set. Yeah.
Yes.
So get set and then what? So once you know that you set to your bar, that's what you want to achieve. But now you're getting a job to get an income.
Yes.
All right. So you set your goal. If you don't have a goal, you can't score. Yes. So they put the goalpost there so people will score. All right. So that is what people start. You start from the new beginnings and you work your way up. Like I started off as kitchen hand, washing pots. You know what I mean? And like, behold, you work hard, you play hard, and then you get to where you want to be. So set your goals, have a plan, have a preparation, and you get there.
Wow, the conversation is really, really interesting here in this studio this evening with Pastor Adjei. We're talking about preparing for work. Wow. I hope you're staying tuned and send those questions because we're going to be responding to them just in a few minutes. Stay tuned. This is My Career, My Calling on Down on the Radio. Wow. If you are just joining us, this is My Career, My Calling on Down on the Radio. And man, we're having a great time here in the studio this evening with Pastor Adjei, and we are talking about preparation for work. Wow, this is just such an amazing topic.
Yeah.
Such an amazing topic. And I really appreciate someone with this kind of experience really to talk through this. And, you know, I've seen people bring their CVs to me. And this is something that I really want us to take another few minutes to talk about the application and the CV. Because, you know, coming from, let's say, a developing country, you know, and from a cultural perspective too, the whole idea is to write a long epistle and talk about yourself. But what I found out when I came here was about this thing called the selection criteria.
Yes.
And this thing challenges people. So the selection criteria really is the employer is telling you that the person that I want must meet these specific skills, experience, and educational requirements. So when we are writing that selection criteria, that's really what they want you to target. They don't want to hear how many birds you shot last weekend or how many holidays you've been on. So, and that cover letter is such an essential part.
Yep.
And I've seen many, even very educated people who have completely misunderstood that selection criteria and the importance of getting the resume right. You know, so I really like what you said about that preparation and getting set. So I want us to talk a little bit more about that. And let's talk about attitude a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah. Because some of us, you know, like me, I came here, I came here with a master's degree. I already had a master's degree.
You are on the high level.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was already a master's degree with with international work experience as well.
Okay.
And so to some extent, that served me well. But not everybody comes with that.
Yeah.
And not everybody comes here sponsored, because people who come sponsored, my guest last week spoke about coming here as a sponsored staff and everything was already prepared. But when that person had to move to find a job,
Yeah.
then they realized
It's
that,
not easy.
Oh, it's not a walk in the park.
Yeah.
So one of the things that I understand too, though, is that us as migrants, sometimes we, you know, I did come with a little bit of chip on my shoulder
Yes.
and thinking, but I was so and so back home, you know. Why isn't it everybody's dropping what they're doing to pay attention to me?
That's right. That's right.
So I believe that part of the preparation process is really about the attitude.
Yeah, so look, in Australia, they say it's a fair income place. You know, we all have to go through it.
Yeah.
It takes 5 years
Yes.
for you to be able to understand the system. Everybody.
Yep.
No matter how much experience you have, when you come to this area, I've talked to vast people from Egypt, from Nigeria, from Ghana, from Jamaica, even from US.
Yeah.
When they come here, it's a shock.
Yes.
It's a cultural shock.
Yes.
We do things in an easy go. We don't care about your titles that you hold. We only care about your ability to deliver.
Yes.
So nobody's gonna bow down to you because you got like S amounts of degree and all that. No. They're not interested. All it is that your ability to deliver. If you know how to do the job, don't talk about it. Don't show me off. Do the job. Show me how you can do it.
Yeah.
So most people think that let me write all that I have done back home and international this and all that and all that. They're not interested. As a matter of fact, that actually scares the person who's going to employ you. They're like, whoa, they are overqualified.
Yes.
You are overqualified on paper.
Yes.
So you need to tone it down. They say, tell less, get more. Tell more, get less. So sometimes you need to just rip off your old resume, your Aussie, get to know somebody. We write resumes. We have a company called, Job Seeker, where we write resumes for people with a small fee. So we have the skills to be able to do it.
Yeah.
And then once we write that resume for you, you get into the interview. So those are the things. Find somebody who has been experienced here, like yourself. You can help them look at their resume and say, look, take this out, take that out. Simplicity is the best.
Yeah.
Simplicity is the best.
So the key is, if you're going for a particular job,
Yes.
basically just put what you need, whatever they've asked for,
Yeah.
showcase that on the
So,
CV.
so let me give you guys the shortcut form.
Yeah.
This is what one of my white friends showed me. He said he gets every job. And I said, how? He goes, you know what? The ad, I copy the ad and then I reframe it.
Yes.
Because the ad is saying we are looking for so and so and so and so.
Yeah.
You ignore that and then you go and put all your international experience. But the ad say we are looking for a local baker or something, and then you say, oh, I used to bake in Ghana.
Yeah.
I used to bake in Jamaica.
Yeah.
I'm international baker.
Yeah.
No. We are looking for a local baker from Liverpool to be able to bake bread.
Yeah.
Simple. Copy that. I am a local baker in Liverpool. I have experience in bakery for 5 years. Whoa. Hey, guys, look at this guy. He's a local baker in Liverpool for 5 years. Come in. You have answered what they're looking for. So irrespective of what you have done in Ghana or Jamaica or in anywhere, they don't need it. Once you begin to bake and they see that, wow, how do you roll that? Well, you know what? I used to be an international champion. Hey, then the whole thing, like you get the shoulder paddle. Wow, international champion. Tell us more. Then that elevates you to become a manager. But to get your foot in the door, just follow what they ask for.
Yeah, the basic stuff.
The basic stuff.
Yeah, so simple is better.
Yeah.
Simple is
Simplicity
better.
is better.
Simple is better.
Yeah.
One of my friends once asked me to help with her resume.
Yes.
And this person had come over, to Australia and, worked in her chosen profession overseas and had lots of really high level, great quality experience. But then the person began to list out, even her date of birth was on it. And this is something I actually learned as an adult, that it's not important to put your date of birth on your resume.
Nah.
And I used to search for jobs in America before I came to Australia. And that's when I actually found out that it's not important. In fact, in a place like America, your date of birth is a very, very important, even here too.
Yeah.
We use date of birth for almost everything.
That's right.
It's really important not to publicly broadcast your date of birth.
Somebody can scam you with that.
Yeah. And so, I had to go through, it was really painful.
Yeah.
Really painful to really chop this down.
Yes.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
But, and to explain to her, like, don't sell yourself short.
Yeah.
And I've actually spoken to other people who've said, look, even a lot of people tend to put even their high school training, but if you've got something like a master's degree or you already have tertiary level training, you don't need to put which primary school you went to.
No.
It's not their business. It's not their business. Don't tell them that I went to Asante Achim primary school.
No.
They don't need
it's
to know.
irrelevant.
It's
so
irrelevant.
What we do as the resume writer, I'll give you free tips that because this is a Christian broadcast. I'm not charging you. So what we do, we put you in a chair.
Yeah.
And we say, talk about yourself.
Yes.
And then we record.
Yes.
So you tell us all that you have done. We summarize it, we compile it, and then because people want to know you. Not what you have achieved in the volunteer work you did, the cleaning that you do at church. A lot of people use me as a reference because they want that. They want community workers.
Yes.
So, no, you went to Asante Achim Golden Tulip School and all that. It's irrelevant because they don't even know. But if you said, I'm a volunteer at Destiny Impact on number 6 Speed Street, Liverpool, wow, what do you do? So the interviewer wants to know what you have done.
Yes.
Not what you have done in Africa or something, what you're doing right here in the soil of the land. Because if you're not involved, they cannot get you to be involved. So those are the things that we actually summarize about the person. We let you talk about you, and then we put it together and then make it professional.
Yeah.
And once people start reading about themselves, they go, wow, I didn't know this is me. Yeah. So on paper, you even love what we have written about you.
Yeah.
And then you get the job.
That's really amazing. And, we've only got about 10 minutes left.
Okay.
But I really want us, even if this is the last thing we talk about, is about this volunteerism, because it's a very important thing. And you've mentioned it before. But I really want to drive home the importance of volunteering. Because if you cannot find a job, you can actually volunteer.
Yeah.
And one thing that I know, and I believe you will confirm this, that Australians love to see volunteer on your resume.
You know why? Okay, as a CEO or as a combined recruiter.
Yeah.
If I know that I'm going to employ you and I look at all that you have done is pay, and it's a community job.
Yes.
And you're going to get paid, but you haven't done anything for free.
Yeah.
Why should I give you the job? And I get Tom and Jerry that came 2000. I volunteered for the Olympics, Paralympics. Wow. Commonwealth game. I volunteered to do security. Wow. So this guy is all about the books, but this guy have done the job.
Yep.
So who do you think I'm gonna lean towards? The one that have done the job.
Yes.
There was an ad on NRMA, They're all going for interview. People are suit in the tie and all that. The guy who's going for the interview saw somebody's car break down. He stopped as a mechanic job for the NRMA. He stopped and then he fixed the car, so he was late for the interview. When he went and the interviewer saw him, he was all greased up. And then he looked at the guy sitting there and he looked at this guy. They gave the job to the guy who's all greased up. Because he knew the essence of the job that he's coming for. So most people don't get the job, not because they don't like you, not because you're colored, not because you're from Africa, not because it's because you're not showing anything that makes the CEO or the employer to say like, you know what? I need you in my workplace.
So what separates you? What distinguishes you? What sets you apart from the rest of applicants? And I really want, for those listening to us this evening, to really understand that if you're really struggling to find a job, instead of sitting at home and watching all this series of, what's the latest one?
The Ghana Nollywood movies.
Nollywood or whatever. Game of Thrones was on the news today. You know what? You could give 4 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours to this charity, to this organization. It goes a long way. And people are actually really willing.
Not 4 hours, 1 hour.
1 hour
of volunteer work is enough. Come here. You know, the Bishop has all the soup, eye care, and all those things. Look, again, you want to get into disability. You're not even volunteering to help somebody who's disabled. How am I going to get you the job?
That's it.
When you volunteer with eye care and then you take the client, the parent sees that. He said, no, I want that lady that came last time. Which one? Oh, you mean the volunteer? Okay, then the CEO is forced to call you because you display your skills. Like I said, the Bible says that the skill of a man make room unto kings. Show me your skills. Show me the ability that you can do the job, and then I'll employ you. If you don't do that, you're gonna be sitting on the fence wall for a long time. And this is not magic, and this is not discrimination. It's just common sense that if you want a job in the hospital, guess what? Go and volunteer in the hospital. If you want a job in accounting, go and just volunteer. This June, July is coming. The accountants need help. I create job for my accountant. I create job for him. I said, look, this young guy is young. He's passionate. He just finished uni. Give him a job. He said, what do you mean? I said, give him a job. Pay him 30,000, which is 650 a week. Let him go and do door to door for you. Get all the businesses. He goes like, wow, AJ, are you an accountant or you're I said, look, this is what I do. I create job for people. So the guy hired him. He went to the local business to do BAS. Just a BAS statement. It's $1,000. So imagine if he get 3 or 4 businesses, that's $3,000. He was like, I'm happy with that. And he just employed the graduate. Because graduates need a job.
And they need the experience.
So people don't even know how to create jobs for other people. That's another topic to talk about. You know, how to create job for yourself.
Wow. It's fire in this place, man. And where did the time go? We're almost at the end of the program, and I'm telling you, it's been amazing. I wish I had another hour. But, you know, there are a few takeaway points here this evening. One is, it doesn't matter how fresh you are in the country. It doesn't matter where you're coming from. It doesn't matter how challenged you are, whether you are a good English speaker or not. Ask. You know, have the right attitude. You know,
skill.
Have the skill. You know, be able to approach people. And use your knowledge.
That's right.
To create opportunities for yourself.
That's right.
And prepare. Preparation. Have a plan. Know what you want. And talk to people. There are many people who have gone ahead. Many people who have done this before. Many have failed and succeeded after failing. And lots of people. And most important thing, if you don't remember anything else, volunteer.
Yes, right.
Volunteer, 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 and volunteer.
Yeah.
It goes a long way. It looks great on the resume, and Australians employers love
Volunteers. It's in the newspaper.
Yeah.
Africans like to be paid for everything.
Yes.
No.
So for those of you who are looking for those skills that you really can't find, most people talked about the need for work experience. The best way to get work experience is to volunteer.
Yeah.
And a lot of organizations are struggling. They're looking, they don't have the budget to pay people, but the work is available.
Yeah.
And if you volunteer even an hour or a day per week at some place, you can learn.
And before I forget that, high school, those who are in high school, please. I got my first retail job in Liverpool to manage the retail later. Wow. Is that when year 9, you do volunteer, you pick a field.
Yeah.
So I knew I want to work in the retail shop. So guess what? I went there and said, hey, can I do my work experience here? Yeah. The guy was happy.
Wow.
You know what they made me do? All the boxes, all the dirty work. I worked so hard. I never saw any suit. He saw me unpacking boxes, hanging them. After my work experience, he gave me 3 hours every Thursday night.
There you go. Yeah. And the principle, I think it has been proven over and over again. Yeah. People will watch you, and the best way to demonstrate your skill, best way to show people what you can do, go and do it. Yeah. Demonstrate it through a volunteer position. And there are many organizations who are looking and always willing and ready to take volunteers. iCare Community Services.
It's always looking for volunteers.
Yeah. If you need experience working in the disability sector.
Yes.
If iCare also run a job readiness program. And as I said, when we started this program, because of that experience working with people who have been out of the job market for many years, and we've seen that this is a struggle. And we actually believe it's an error. It's not if you live in a wealthy, rich, blessed country like Australia, you shouldn't be struggling like that. And so part of that is we've taken some of those experiences, and that is why we created this program. And we want to help people out there to understand that you don't have to stay there.
No.
You don't have to sit down and be sorry for yourself and have a pity party, but you can actually get up and do something.
That's right.
And there are people out here, we are cheering you on. We are here to support you. And if you join us each week on this program, we will provide more tips, more information from other great guests like Pastor Adjei. And my goodness, we are at the end of the program. Pastor Adjei, I can't thank you enough. I can't thank you enough for your great insight that you've shared today. I really appreciate your experience and your sharing today. And I really hope that you can join us another time as we go through some of these, as we go further about even the interviewing process. I think that some people would really benefit from that. And also about even taking it to the next level and sharing about starting your own business.
Awesome. Anytime, I'll be available. You got my number. Thank you, listeners. I really appreciate it. I love you. Love this place. Down Under Radio. Get behind it. Get behind iCare. Volunteer. God bless you all.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It's been such an amazing evening, and the time flew by so quickly. And I'm so grateful to have Pastor Adjei here with me in the studio. Thank you to all our listeners for wherever you are, listening to us from wherever you are. If you're watching us live on Facebook, thank you so much for joining us. And we're really grateful that you've been able to join us today. Thanks to everyone on air, Devontae, Wanif, all the way in the UK, Pastor Ebenezer. Oh my God, people from Melbourne are tuning in. We've got people from Canada tuning in. My cousin Kenisha, I can see you watching all the way from Canada. We got Special K online. Oh my goodness, we've got people from Ghana watching us. I believe we've got people from Kenya. Oh my goodness, we've just got people just tuning in from all over the world. Thank you so much for joining us. And we really appreciate our audience joining us, and we really hope our desire is to make this program suitable for you. We want to make this program worthwhile. And so send us your comments, your feedback about any topics you might want to hear. If there's any questions or any specific thing that is bugging you that we might be able to help you to work through, please feel free to send us that. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me this evening on this edition of My Career, My Calling. And I'm going to send you out with a special song by yours truly. This is Don't Give Up by yours truly. When the pressures of life get you down and you're tempted to give up and turn around and you question yourself, will it be worth it? For it's been a long journey to where you are. Don't give up, my child. This has been My Career, My Calling on Down Under Radio.